Cold and wet in the woods, not being able to start a fire can turn an uncomfortable situation into a dangerous one. That's the difference between a prepared hiker and an unprepared one. And if your fires never seem to catch, if you're flicking your lighter over and over while the smoke stings your eyes, there's always a reason. And it usually comes down to one of three common mistakes. The good news is every one of them is in your control. Once you know what to look for, you fix it and your fire lights the first time. Let's go through the three. Mistake number one is bad tinder. This is the big one, and it's where most fires die. People grab a handful of dry leaves or they go straight to a pile of sticks with a lighter and nothing happens. Here's what tinder actually has to do. It has to catch easily from a small flame and then burn long enough to light the next thing up. That's its whole job. If it can't do both, it's not tinder. So here's what I use. First of all, a twig bundle. Match size dead twigs, and I gather enough that the bundle is about as big around as both my hands can circle. The best place to find them is under conifers, hemlock, fir, and spruce. They hold fine dead twigs right under the canopy, and that's exactly what you want. The other tinder I always have with me is a cotton ball with a little petroleum jelly worked in. Dirt cheap, it weighs hardly anything, and it catches even when it's cold and damp. This is my insurance policy. And if you've got birch bark around, that works great too. Shred it into fine strips and it goes right up. I've got a whole video coming on fire starters, so I'll link that when it's up. For now, just know that if your tinder can't catch a flame and hold it, nothing else you do matters. Mistake number two is poorly processed kindling. This one's less obvious and almost nobody talks about it. Most people gather their kindling and throw it right on the fire with all the little branches still poking out the sides. And here's the problem with that. Those little branches hold your sticks apart. You can't get them close enough together so the gaps of your fire end up being too big and the heat from one stick escapes before it can catch the next one. The fix takes about 30 seconds. Before you build, strip your kindling clean. Pull the little limbs off so you've got just a clean stick. Now you can lay them how you want and control the spacing, which is what actually gets the fire climbing from one size stick to the next. It feels like a fussy detail. It isn't. It's usually the difference between a fire that grows and a fire that stalls out halfway. Mistake number three is smothering it. This one is the opposite problem, and it catches people who are maybe trying too hard. If you get a little flame going, you're excited, and you pile wood on, or you pack everything nice and tight because you think close is good. And then the flame disappears and all you've got is smoke. Remember what a fire needs: heat, fuel, and oxygen. Take any one away and it goes out. When you dump a load of wood on your young fire, you're smothering the oxygen. If you're seeing smoke with no flame, that's the sign it's not getting air. So you have to balance it. Add a handful at a time and watch the flames. When the sticks you just added start burning on their own, that's the cue to add the next size up, not before. And when you're on to bigger wood, remember every log needs a friend. A single log sitting by itself won't burn well because there's no air channeling past it. Add two and set them side by side so that the heat funnels between them and the fire takes off. So that's the three mistakes: bad tinder that can't catch a flame, kindling you didn't clean up so your gaps are too big, and smothering your young fire before it can breathe. Fix those and you'll be surprised at how much easier fire gets. But you have to go and do it. Fire is part science and part feel, and the only way to get that feel is to build a few when the stakes are low, in the backyard, at a campsite, where it doesn't matter if it takes you 3 tries. That's what being a prepared hiker actually looks like. Not carrying more gear, but practicing the skills before the day you need it. If you want to make sure the rest of your kit is ready before your next hike, my free 10 Essentials Audit and Guide is linked below, and I'll see you in the woods.